about the free the free ebook that I'm giving out to everybody who is now signing up for my website. So if you go to tirzaschaefer.com, you can sign up there, and it's not automated, so please bear with me. I will get back to all of you and send you the link where you can download your free ebook PDF. And there is a lot of stuff about writing, food, inspiration, and all the rest of it, which is really, really exciting. I love that. And I've asked Drew as well what he says is a good snack to have while you're writing, when you're really in the flow, because no author on earth is going to get up, go to the kitchen and cook a proper meal. Are they? It's like, no way, you just keep typing or writing, whichever, one you do, if you write by hand or not. But so basically, of course, guys, don't think you have to unsubscribe and subscribe again to get to get that free ebook, because you will get it anyway. So all you have to do, is just write me an email, info@tirzaschaefer.com. Just put in the subject line free ebook. You don't have to write anything else in the body at all. Just send me that, and I'll send you back the link to the PDF. So you've definitely got it all. And also, Susie has been collaborating with me on this one. I said, Susie, I really need to have something wonderful, special, like a package for authors in crystal, like a crystal package, right? That will actually help you to concentrate, to focus, to keep those energies flowing and all that, so that you can have around you while you're writing. And that brings out the best in you, that makes you really, really inspired and keeps the inspiration flowing like that. So Susiana is my absolute favorite crystal expert in the whole world, as you know. She said, I'll make you a package, and she's actually going to offer that. So you can, that's going to be in a PDF as well, in that free ebook. So when you sign up and you get the free ebook, read through it. There are tips for authors on food from Drew Ryder, our wonderful admin, who is there for vegan food and healthy eating and healthy thinking as well, of course. Anything that you feed yourself. And also these wonderful crystal packages. You can also, you can have a general one, generally for writing, that helps you with your inspiration. But if you need something in particular, or you want to have something that is especially designed to your specific genre, you can do that as well. Just contact her. She's totally approachable. She is absolutely lovely, and she will put together something for you that will just blow your mind. She's very humble as well, so she will always say she's not that great, but she is. I vouch for that. Susie is absolutely brilliant with crystals, and she will handpick each and every one for you especially. So it's not like she's just gonna make up those things in bulk, but when she will tune into your energy and then handpick each single crystal for you. Okay, so that is a very special one. They might not always be the best looking or something, if you just go for the visuals. What is important though is that is your crystal, the crystal that wants to come to you. So and it works, trust me. I love all the crystals I've got from her, and they're already charged with high vibrational healing, Reiki, all sorts of different Reiki she can do, and all that. So they're cleansed and all the rest of it. So you open that package, you get your crystals out, and you get like, whew, the best, most wonderful vibes ever. So I can only highly recommend that as well. And Drew is not only a vegan chef and really good at telling you about which food is good to snack on, but he's also a personal coach. He's coaching me because some of you might not know. I've had actually at the beginning of the year, I had a burnout, which I'm recovering from now, and I'm making really great progress. And Drew has been with me by my side every single day this year to help me recover and come to terms with my stuff, my own issues and things. So I'm so much better already, and things are just going up. I just need more energy, but basically other than that, I'm quite happy. So you can see, happy. But anyway, so he is absolutely great, not just in the food department, but also with what you nourish your soul with, your mind, what you put in your mind and these things. So if you need somebody, that go to Drew. He'll be absolutely brilliant for you. Totally loving, non-judgmental. I mean, he's such a great person. I'm really happy we're friends. Actually, his wife, who is a beautiful artist, she makes the most amazing, beautiful paintings. I was friends with her first, and when I told her, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you on something we were talking about, and I said, I just had a burnout, and I'm not feeling very well. And then she told me, oh, my husband is a coach, and so she got us in touch, and that was absolutely beautiful. So if you want to know about her, it's the art goddess Annette Jane Ryder. She is a beautiful artist, so you can just look her up and follow her. She's got the art goddess group as well. Absolutely love it. So anyway, it's quite late in Germany already. We've got, well, maybe not for most, 10:30. In younger days, that wasn't even a time I would even start to think about going out. But times change, don't they? Very nice. So I love milk. So what we're going to do now, after I've had a sip of my coffee to get myself going, yeah. Bling. So I've got one for energies once again. And of course, when you put a little sticky paper in your book, so you can find the place where you actually want to read from, and that falls out and you didn't realize until you've got it in your hand, you're live, good to go. And now you have to look for the right place. So I'm going to look for the right place right now. That's done already. Must be further in the front. And just runs too late as well. This is because that is so funny where Bear comes in and they drive in the truck. Hi, Cat. Good to see you. I'm about to read from my book Born to be Wild. There. Okay. This way. Okay, and it says they went on a wild ride from NYC to Tennessee. So that's that's a military romance and a biker romance all rolled into one, and some action and crime and you know me, you can never get me on just one part, isn't it? So I have to mix things up. I love mixing things up with food as well, isn't it? It's much nicer to have lots of different vegetables in your food, in a dish rather than just one. So why not do that in a book as well, right? Oh, cool, yeah. Let me just check because my paper fell out of this book so that I've got the right place here. Mm. Are they in a chart? Yes, that's the right. Chapter 5. Chapter 5, and it's called The Merry Mechanics. There you go. Oops. Yeah. Just so you can see how the inside looks, you have this picture, which is a square from the title page. Then you've got from the cover, and then you've got a border, and you've got the chapter number, and you've got the name of the book, which is so pretty, isn't it? And you get it all when you get it on as Kindle, you get it all as in color. But actually, printing in color on Amazon is just incredibly expensive. So that book would have cost me would have cost you to order it like $35 or something stupid like that. I mean, who's got, My books are really good, but $35 for one is, I don't know. I didn't think that'd be a good idea, so I did it in black and white. Okay. Anyway, so Amazon actually tells you how much you have to charge for your books minimum. You can go up as far as you like, but there's a minimum which is quite high already. So not my fault. They print to order, so you don't have a lot at the same time. Let me just have another sip of my beautiful, nice coffee. Coffee is life, yes. So Buddha Amanda said coffee is life. Totally agree with that. So chapter 5, and of course I was wondering why everything looks slightly blurred. Right. Glasses, book, got the right place, got my coffee beside me. Life is good. Let's go. Chapter 5, The Merry Mechanics. Dan pulled over and shut the engine down. Then he helped her off the bike, but her legs wouldn't hold her, and she crumpled to the ground. Shit, did you hurt yourself? She shook her head. She hadn't. She was in pain, but that wasn't from the fall. She simply couldn't stand anymore. Dan was beside her in a flash and massaged her thighs and calves. Why didn't you say something earlier? I didn't want you to think I'm a sissy, she said, and then burst into tears. I'm so sorry. Ignore me. It'll pass. I'll be all right. Shit, Dan mutters under his breath. Then he sat down and pulled her onto his lap, held her tight and rocked her gently like a child until the tears subsided and she fell into an exhausted sleep. Baby, wake up. She was hurting all over and so tired that she struggled against his voice, trying to tear her out of her dreams. Hi, Olivia. Good to see you. Baby, we need to go. It's starting to rain. We need to get to the next motel at least. You go. I stay here, she mumbled. I just want to sleep. Come on, baby. You're strong. You can do it. She whimpered, but opened her eyes slowly and raised her chin to look up at him. A raindrop landed on her forehead. Carrie decided he had a point and got up slowly. She felt stiff all over, but it wasn't as bad as it had been before. Still, she had no desire to ride through the rain for hours. At that moment, a large pickup truck approached them, blowing its horn. What the hell? Dan jumped to his feet as the car pulled up beside them, and he laughed and ran over to the cabin. Hey guys, what are you doing here? Saving your sorry ass from the thunderstorm. Hey, Carrie. Carrie's face burst into a radiant smile. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming to my rescue. We thought Dan, being such a hobby biker, wouldn't be able to make it all the way in one stretch to Ranger's place. Need a lift? She beamed at the four friends as if the sun was shining only for her and hobbled over to the truck. Then she stopped halfway and turned to Dan. "You can't ride on the truck, can you? You need to take your bike?" Dan's features softened. He appreciated that she obviously didn't want to leave him behind and go without him. The men had already jumped out of the four-door vehicle and were now putting down the back flap. Bear jumped on the load area and hauled the bike up by its handlebars while Marty and Dave hauled up the back. Weasel helped carry into the truck and stashed her bag at her feet. When the others had secured the bike on the open back of the truck, they all jumped in. Dave started the engine and the truck pulled out into the road. "How come you guys are here?" Dan asked, drawing Carrie into his arms and gently pressing her head into the crook of his arm so she could get comfortable. Bear grinned. "I met Bobby and he said he's heard you guys didn't sleep much, and when I came to the garage and we was talking about it, we thought, seeing that you were the lady out and she not being trained to the bike, she might appreciate a ride in a more comfortable way, and we haven't seen Ranger and his old lady in forever, so we thought, why not get all together and follow you out here? You scared the shit out of us sitting by the roadside like that in the rain. We thought you'd hurt yourself, but then the bike would be lying down, so we figured your little lady friend got too exhausted to go further. Good thing we came, though. It's going to be a bad motherfucker. Excuse me, lady present. It's going to be one badass storm coming, Marty explained. "I'm so sorry I gave you such a fright, guys. I was so exhausted." "Yeah," Weasel said. "I can see he's been riding you hard." Everyone burst out laughing. Only Dan grumbled, and Carrie managed only a weak smile. Bear, however, was indignant. "You shouldn't ever laugh at a lady. Mrs. Dan isn't used to riding on a bike for hours. She's very delicate. Dan should have paused long before now." "She didn't say, man. Only when she was nearly falling off the bike she called a stop, damn female pride." "You're the biker. You should have known to torture a poor woman like that," Bear grumbled. "She ain't no biker, ho." "Mr. Bear, please don't be angry at Dan. It's not his fault. Each time he asked, I said I was fine and could go all the way. I was too proud for my own good. I don't know what I would have done if you all hadn't come." "It was my idea first," Bear said proudly, puffing up his chest. Carrie smiled appreciatively. "You're truly a knight in shining armor, Mr. Bear. The woman who is fortunate enough to win your heart one day is very, very lucky indeed." She closed her eyes, more than happy to sit on a soft seat in the warm cabin of the truck with good friends around her in the arms of her adorable man. Could life get any better? "Carrie, why don't you put your feet up? You can lay them across our legs. That way you'll be more comfortable," Marty suggested. "Oh, that is very kind, but I can't put my shoes on you, and if I take them off, I think it would be more becoming if I had a long bath first," she grinned ruefully. "Miss Carrie, ladies never smell bad, they fragrance," Bear declared emphatically. "And we don't mind having your shoes on us either. We're still in working clothes anyway." "Fragrance is a noun, not a verb, for God's sakes," Dan groaned quietly. Carrie only elbowed his ribs lightly to shut him up. "You're disturbed?" Bear asked across her, addressing Dan. Dave hit his forehead on the steering wheel in frustration, and his other two friends burst out laughing while Dan rolled his eyes and Carrie pretended not to have heard anything at all. She was too tired. It was impossible to sleep, even though she had finally relented and put her feet up across Bear's and Marty's laps. The men were too loud, and fun-loving after a while. Carrie sat up again and took part in the conversation. Dave had the radio on, and when Weasel heard a song he liked, he turned it up. Everyone started howling along. "What a pack of wolves," Dan groaned. Carrie only smirked at him. I think they're cute. Cute? His eyes widened. Man, you're as nuts as that lot. But then he laughed too. After hollering along 3 songs, there was too much static in the line, so Dave tried a different station. The only one that worked was an R&B station. The men didn't seem to be too happy about it because they seemed to prefer country and western or pop. Oh, that is one of my favorite songs, Carrie enthused and started to sing along. The men said they didn't know the lyrics, but then suddenly, when the singer started to power up and Carrie went along, her voice much louder than the reasonably quietly turned radio, everyone else fell silent. Her voice carried clear through the cabin, wove a spell around the burly, loud men that made them fall silent and listen in rapture. After the first chorus, however, the spell was broken. The station started to crackle and then fade out completely. Everyone said and muttered a few choice curses under their breath. Dave tried again, but no station would work in this weather, and they were all disappointed. I only know one country song, Carrie sighed, but if you like, I'll sing it for you. It's an old one, though. Those are the best. Please sing it for us, no matter what, whatever you like. You sound like an angel, Bear pleaded. For once, I have to agree with Bear, Marty muttered and scratched his head. He looked thoughtful. Yes, please, Weasel called from the front seat, and then Dave seconded that as well. Okay, let me just think of the lyrics quickly. Okay, here it goes. And then Carrie started to sing End of the World by Skeeter Davis. Dan wrapped his arms more tightly around her and kissed her hair from behind. Bear only stared at her. The other man looked dreamy. Then Bear, without any prior warning, burst into heart-wrenching sobs. It was so bad that he hid his face in his hands. Carrie stopped singing at once. Mr. Bear, what's wrong? That was my ma's favorite song in the world. She'd listen to it in the evening just before we would go to bed, and then she would sway to it just a bit, like a willow branch in a gentle breeze, my pa used to say, and put his arms around her and make a few turns through the kitchen with her. And one day, my dad didn't come back home when I was 17, and then Ma never listened to the song again. Broke her heart. She died only 2 years after Pa. Died from a broken heart. After the funeral, when everyone had gone, I got the old vinyl out and played it because then they were together again. I played it all night until I passed out drunk. Bear had been difficult to understand in places because he was sobbing so hard. The cabin was shrouded in embarrassed or rather helpless silence. None of his friends were sure what to do. Bear could become angry quickly when he felt offended and didn't understand something. No one wanted to say anything wrong and aggravate him further. Carrie gently wrapped her arms around Bear. Would you like me to stop singing, sing something different, or sing the song again for your ma and pa in heaven? She asked quietly. Please sing it for them. You have an angel's voice, and they will surely hear it up there, if you don't mind. Not at all, Mr. Bear. It'll be a great honor for me to sing for your ma and pa. They must have been such good folks to have raised such a wonderful son, she soothed, and then began to sing, while holding him like an overgrown child in her arms, rocking him gently the way Dan had rocked her earlier on his lap at the side of the road. She carried on throughout all of Bear's wild sobbing. She stretched it out and made it endless until Bear had finally shed all of his tears. Come here, man, Marty gruffed and pulled Bear against him. Why don't you try and sleep some till we get there? Marty had seen that Bear was putting more and more weight on Carrie's shoulders, but she had never complained and kept on singing. So now Marty lent his wide shoulders for his friend to rest on. Yeah, try and sleep some, Best dreams are always had in the company of angels, Weasel said from the front. My ma always used to say that. You told us one day, I remember that. Your ma was a very wise lady, man. That she was, Dave said and nodded. Shortly afterwards, Bear was snoring softly, leaning against Marty, drooling from the side of his mouth, but still wearing a faint smile on his face. Dan drew Carrie back into his arms and kissed the top of her head. I love it when you sing, he said. And what you did for Bear was awesome. Thank you so much. None of us knew how to handle that. Man, without any warning, he just started hollering. Weasel shook his head. He didn't have anyone to share his grief with, I think, Carrie said quietly. Didn't he know you so well yet when his mom died? No, we only came to town much later, and he isn't from here either. I know, you guys all have a southern drawl. I thought you came up together, perhaps. No, we met, Dave started. Later, in a bar, Dan threw in quickly. Yeah, Marty nodded, frowning. So that was chapter 5 from Born to be Wild, with a very distraught, simple-minded bear. You will understand this character much better when you actually read how Carrie meets those merry mechanics. But I like that scene so much, so I picked it to read it to you. Okay. That was good. You're welcome. I'm so happy you liked the cat. I'm very, very happy. Okay, let me have some more of my coffee. I think I can't do a romance reading tonight at all because only one person here. That's not really worth it, is it? But I promise I will do one day. When we've got more people on. Right. Now, From Balcony Above the Sea, which actually isn't a military romance novel, one of the few that are not military. So the first one that I wrote, which is Snake Goddess Rising, is not military. Although strictly speaking, well, it's kind of a bit, but but not really. Anyway, so in this book, there is this author from London, and she hates her life. She's got an ex-boyfriend that she's still kind of friends with, but him and his new girlfriend always rub in how absolutely ecstatically happy they are together, and she just can't stand, this always going over the top and everything, because she thinks it's not really authentic, and it goes on her nerves like mad, but she doesn't want to say she doesn't want to be friends with them anymore because she doesn't want them to think she's jealous, because she really doesn't want her ex-boyfriend back. But anyway, she's so fed up with everything and her inspiration is gone. So she thought, I'm just going to take off. So she puts her stuff into, into storage, and then just hops on a plane to Bulgaria, where she's rented an apartment by the sea, by the Black Sea, in a little village for 4 weeks, and is hoping to just have peace and quiet there, write a book or two, and just find back to herself again, really, because that's what she needs as well. So then she is touched down in Burgas, and she is being picked up by a driver, Lubin, who isn't actually the driver she had booked, but that man's wife is having a baby, so he jumped in for his friend. Yeah. So in the end, they kind of get together, and then his Lubin's sister is a lesbian, and her well, they're not allowed to marry there, but like her life partner and her live together, and they're actually having a beach party and inviting Lubin, and Keturah is the author's name, to come and join them, and they're gonna, you know, to have this nice time with them together. So they're actually having a beautiful evening with really great, you know, like a bonfire. They've got music. They've got a band they're playing, and Lubin's sister's partner, she's a singer as well. Her brothers actually play guitar and that, so they're making all the music. And then Keturah starts dancing with them, and because she can't sing, but she's, you know, she just starts reciting a poem in front of Lubin to kind of seduce him, to make him hot, you know, because she's in that really central place inside, and she feels like this sexy goddess. They've just actually come closer, and she feels so beautiful. So she's dancing sensually and reciting this. So it's chapter 14. It's called Poetic Explosive. The drumming of your heart, strong and even like the steady pulse of Mother Earth, beats a tattoo into my soul, branding me with the ink of your love. The color seeps into my blood, making it boil and churn, while all the while your tender touch, not too light, not too much, continues to travel over my skin, making it burn your name into my essence, your essence into my flesh. And as passion ignites, my tender breasts leak milk falling as love's tears, to spill into a white pool at my feet. Your lips and tongue lap at my juice between my tender thighs, and each caress, each stroke and slash elicits moaning cries from my lips, when your fingers glide between them, dripping with the honey seeped from my secret wet-hot flesh. I taste myself on your skin. I suckle and lick until you groan and move all the way up. Your lips claim mine in hot possession. Passion ignites in the dance of our tongues playing and lashing, while your fist holds me captive, prizing my head back, wound up in my hair to sink your teeth into the tender flesh at the base of my neck. You turn me around, still holding the reins of golden tresses to prove that I'm yours. And while I lie beneath you, pinned down, immovable to the ground, you take me and ride me till my screams abound in so much ecstasy that it finally sets me free. And in rapture beneath you, I explode. Lubin had sat down in front of her and had only stared at her throughout. She had woven her steps closer to him until she finally knelt before him, her face close to his, eyes burning into his soul. "Who did you write that for, Jeff?" he asked quietly. "It came to me as I spoke, and I spoke it for you." "Did anyone film this?" she asked, turning around. "I did," Sophia said, waving her hand in the air as if she were a student at school. "Good, I need to type it up so it won't get lost," Keturah said and moved closer to Lubin. The guitar is still played beside them. "As I look into your eyes, connect deeply with your soul, my longing finds expression in the taste of your staff sliding between my lips ever deeper into my mouth, where my tongue encircles you, tickles and sucks you. You lead the rhythm of my dance, my head leaping for joy at the beauty of our unity." Sweet love of mine, don't you see? For you and only you I long to be my true self, expressing true desire, because only you can inspire me to express my greatest, grandest, my own divinity. And when you share the elixir of your life's strength with me, I will not spill nor waste a drop. I'll take it all and shun not the slightest bit of your precious gift. Your life's essence in the material quenching my deepest thirst. And then Lubin drew her roughly against him, lowered his head, and a hand came down between their faces. You're in public, Elisabetta said, and everyone laughed. But it was a heated laugh. Everyone was moved by the sensuality of Ketura's words, her movements, the burning passion in her eyes. God, I adore you, Lubin groaned and swatted Elisabetta's hand away lightly as if it were a mere mosquito or fly. Oh my God, Sophia called, tearing them out of the hypnotic world of drowning in each other's gaze. Keturah, I've got you on author alert. Your new book is through, Sophia called. Yes, the one I uploaded last night at the internet cafe, Keturah said. No, Lubin told me about it and I got it earlier. You got it? Keturah asked incredulously. Yes, of course. I got all your books. I'm so sorry I haven't had time to write any reviews yet, but I will within a week, I promise, Sophia said. But this one is a new one, see? She held a phone under Keturah's nose. It was indeed the book she had uploaded earlier. The ebook had already been approved, only the paperback was still pending. Keturah was extremely excited about this. This is really special, she explained her reaction. I wrote the entire book last night, after Lubin had taken me home. I had a little break and then it just poured out of me. My brother seems to have a very inspiring effect on you, Sophia smiled. Yes, I feel free with him, free to express my authentic self, Keturah rephrased it, and thus reminding everyone of what she had told them upon arrival, that love meant freedom to be. She took Lubin's hand and squeezed it to show her appreciation, and he squeezed back and smiled. Her new book was called True Love, and Sophia read out the title and remarked that it might rather turn out to be a prophetic title. You must read from this, everyone called. Lubin downloaded it on his phone at once and handed the device to Keturah. She thanked him and sat down between his legs, leaning against his powerful chest. He wrapped the blanket around both of them, and Keturah started to read, drawing everyone into a spell once again. By the end of chapter 3, however, she stopped. I'm sorry, I need a break, she said, and reached for the bottle of water Elisabetta had placed beside her. You've read enough, Lubin said. Everyone should buy your book and see how it ends for themselves. Exactly, Sophia said, and raised a cup of wine with Elisabetta and toasted to Keturah. Everyone raised their drinks and toasted to her. Na zdrave, they called, and Keturah was given a cup of wine of her own and raised it to her audience. To the most wonderful and most appreciative audience I've ever had. I love you guys. You're just great. Thank you. Sophia told Keturah she would read all of Keturah's books she had already started. Keturah looked at her quizzically. But it's about straight couples, the adult ones anyway, she said. Does that turn you on? I love how you write. The feelings it evokes transcends gender questions. I only replaced a handsome man with Elisabetta in my fantasy, and it works very well that way. Sophia smiled and wrapped an arm around her girlfriend, then drew her in for a loving kiss on the cheek. Admittedly, I'm not into reading anyone else's straight romance novels, but you're special. So I read yours, and I really love the storylines and the way you evoke the deepest and strongest feelings so easily. That's what Lubin told me as well, Keturah observed. Ha! If I said it, it must be true then, Lubin laughed. Keturah kissed his cheek, hugged Sophia, and finally asked Elisabetta whether she'd like to sing a bit more. Elisabetta gave her a warm smile, touched her cheek, and got up. I will sing a love song just for you and Lubin, a very romantic Bulgarian one, and then we will celebrate and party, she decreed. Lubin drew Keturah down between his legs again, but this time she sat sideways and looked up into his eyes. He draped a blanket around both of them once more and squeezed her tightly against him. At last, for the very first time, his lips claimed hers in an all-out passionate kiss. Right, that was chapter 14. Okay. And if you look at this pile of books, let me just do that way so you can see it. Okay, you see that? These here. I'm just going to take down the romance cards. So all these books here, they're all mine. All the books I've written. Well, I've written a bit more already, but it's not published yet. So those are my published books, okay? And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, please say hi. I love that you're taking the time to watch, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, say good night now. Love you lots, and we'll see if we can do that romance reading over a weekend. I think a lot of people are maybe out or still working or something, depending on the time where they're at, Right. So thank you so much for watching. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it so much. And I know the Americans are still working. One just caught me on a lunch break, but that's over now. So she had to go back to work. Good night, Kat. Right. Good night, everyone. So, catch the replay and let me know and tell me what you think. Okay? Lots of love. Mwah. Night, night.